Greetings guys, it's RBG, and today I'm gonna tell you about something that I saw on Twitter today, and it was so freaking dumb, as a lot of stuff on Twitter is. And this is something I've heard for the past few years. A lot of people for some reason think that corn addiction isn't a real thing. So yeah, this person said, I am begging people to understand that according to all research, corn addiction is not real. It was made up by Christian conservatives, and it's literally just people who like corn the same amount as everyone else but feel bad about it. And then the Twitter disclaimer thing for misinformation popped up, and it said pornography addiction is real and is a scientifically documented psychological phenomenon. Evidence shows that its underlying neural processes are similar to substance addiction. So yeah, I mean, this is stuff that you would think is common knowledge and that everybody would just kind of know. If something's able to release dopamine or cause pleasure, you're able to get addicted to it. That's just the plain truth to everything. If you want to be somebody that will just say that they just like it just as much as everybody else does but feel bad about it and say that's not an addiction, you can say the same to any person that eats food, like an excess amount of food, which I wouldn't be surprised if this same person is somebody who believes in the idea of fat phobia, since they blame everything on conservatives, I guess, since they probably have the most progressive mind ever. But yeah, as somebody who is, Gen Z and has had his troubles with corn and watching it and stuff, which I don't really care to go into on here, which it might be a later thing one day I go into. But yeah, to say it's not an addiction, it just shows how completely lost the day and age we are in the Western world. Not only is corn addiction a real thing, but if you ask me, I don't think there's any consumption of corn that is even healthy at all, to be completely honest. We're talking about a form of art or content that it depicts intercourse in a way that just isn't realistic at all, that includes bodies that are just not realistic in any way, shape, or form. The way in which it showcases consent is also negative, and it objectifies people. And this is only just looking at the content itself. If we're to look at the effects that comes from consuming this stuff frequently and for extended periods of time, we already have a lot of data to support that there's definitely negative effects to come out from this, whether it's, being nervous to actually interact with women, just a false perception of what, sex is supposed to be, and being desensitized to it as well, and not even being able to be attracted to your girlfriend in terms of down there, the head down there, because you looked at so much bodies that are just don't look like real stuff, and yeah, you won't be attracted to a normal girl. And this is stuff only done within 3 decades of having online corn? Maybe, I know for sure less than 4 decades, but yeah, I mean, decades from now it's gonna be way more research and collected data to look at. We also have to keep in mind that, a lot of people that do watch this started watching this at a young age. They watched this before their brain even fully developed, including myself. So yeah, that's just a bad thing. I don't see how anybody could deny that this is a bad thing at all. And I'm not somebody who advocates for the idea of banning corn, because I obviously agree with freedom of speech, freedom of expression, as y'all already know. And doing that would practically be impossible. And even if you wanted to enforce that, it would pull at the fabrics of what America is even supposed to be at that point. To have the government or whatever monitor what is being done on the internet, I think the government already does a good amount. It doesn't need to be any more than it already is. But yeah, like I said, this isn't something that I've seen for the first time. I've seen this before. I've seen this for years. And yeah, corn addiction hasn't been taken seriously for a while now. And I've seen Hassan, I remember he commented on Aiden Ross's NoFap journey saying that it was alt-right type of activity, which just, it makes no sense. Cause bro, that's not even, why are you saying this like it's a conservative talking point? He just wants to improve himself in an aspect of his life that he thinks is deterring himself. I have a hard time believing that people that think that corn addiction isn't a real thing would be saying the same thing if they had a son that was addicted to corn and was paying hundreds of dollars on cam girls and OnlyFans. Because we're not gonna act like there's not a story of a guy that literally murked his whole family and took pretty much thousands of dollars out of retirement funds and life savings from his parents and other family members just so he could contact a cam girl that he had a parasocial relationship with. Because with people like this, it's a real possibility, because these are the same types of people that will say to consume OF over Pornhub because OF is independent creators and people in the corn on Pornhub are people that are getting exploited, this and that and whatnot. And even though you're somewhat right, I think it's just stupid to even pay for something that you could get for free. So yeah, nah. But yeah, like I said, corn is just a bad thing just in general. There's no such thing as healthy consumption, like I said before. And masturbation in general is kind of just also a bad thing to an extent. I hear there's health benefits, like you prevent colon cancer or whatever, but I feel like there's probably other ways to prevent that. So, I mean, but it is better to just, choke the chicken without watching corn as to watching it with it. So I guess that's just my thoughts on everything I'm trying to touch on, but no pun intended. But at the end of the day, yeah, feel free to give me your thoughts, like, dislike, comment, subscribe. There's more stuff I gotta check out. So I'm out. Peace.